Hello friends, and welcome back to our channel. So this is a very real video. I normally would never show myself walking around in a pair of shorts. Yeah, I just never would show this angle of myself ever, but here we are. So as you saw previously, I was weed whacking. I weed whack the same way I drive. It's all or nothing. So it's kind of sketchy, but here you go. And now I'm picking up some sticks and the dog's toys because they leave them all over the yard. As you can see, there's like white fluffy stuff in the yard. That's from where they tore apart toys. The only part of our yard that's actually fully fenced around is in the front yard. And as you can see, having dogs in the front yard has really torn up the yard. So mowing is always kind of interesting. It is extremely hot on this day, and you'll be happy to know I have since bought myself a sun hat, but at the time I did not have one, so I'm just kind of walking around sweating to death. And I do not do well in the heat, so clearly a choice of living in Oklahoma is a fantastic one for me, but there you have it. So we had gone and done some errands first before getting this started. We were supposed to get started doing all of this stuff like way earlier, and because we had to run errands, it didn't happen that way. So I am working on mowing the front yard now. We have a couple of different push mowers, but their self-drive features don't work really on either one of them. So it does require a lot of pushing. And I don't actually mind mowing. Mowing to me is kind of like vacuuming, essentially. But yeah, so since this is where the dogs are always, there's lots of landmines that they leave behind that cannot be avoided, unfortunately. So here you have it. But I am mowing the parts of the grass that I can mow, because obviously a lot of our front yard now is dirt. And it's always super dusty out front, and it's always getting in the house, and it's like super annoying. But there's really not a whole lot I can do about that because we can't afford to fence in the entire property because it's very expensive. And at this point, their need for having access to a yard to go to the bathroom in and play in is more important than whether or not I have grass in my front yard. And so that's kind of where we're at. This side yard here is probably the easiest to mow. It's still kind of grass, but apparently this is also where they like to go to the bathroom, so it was quite disgusting. But there you have it. So yeah, and then we ended up putting all that rock along the edge of the fence because the two younger ones kept escaping through the fence because I think I mentioned before, our neighbor likes to let her dog run the neighborhood, and anytime he is out, he gets our dogs all riled up, and then they end up chasing around and they want to play, and so they go underneath the fence. So Rogers had to reinforce that fence several times because when the previous owners installed it, they did not put the bottom post, I guess, or tube, or I don't know what it is. Again, a chain link fence, you usually have like the one that goes along the top, and then you have one that's also on the bottom. They didn't install that for whatever reason, probably because it was expensive. And so it's just kind of half-assedly put up. So Roger has had to reinforce different sections, and then we put those rocks up there so they couldn't dig underneath. And that was the theory anyway. The side yard here that you see I am mowing currently, at some point, once we can get the dogs their enclosure built in the backyard, this part here gets a lot of sun, and so I'm thinking this would be a great place to plant maybe our orchard, I'm thinking, because looking in the backyard at what I was initially going to do and now wanting to put the dogs into the backyard, it's really kind of restricted where I want to grow. And so we're just having to learn to accommodate different things. We don't have a bag on the vacuum on the lawnmower, clearly, so you can see all the grass bits being thrown around. But yeah. But anyhow, the side yard here I think would be perfect for like a little orchard and to grow some fruit trees. I don't know, maybe some pecans or something. I think that'd be nice. We do have a couple of large trees in the front yard, but a couple of them are not terribly healthy. So any trees that I have to take down and replace, I really want to put usable food source trees there. So whether that's fruit trees, nut trees, what have you, I'd like to replace them with that. But in the meantime, here I am trying to mow the grass. And yeah, I did speed it up a little bit though, because I don't know, maybe some people like to watch people mow. I personally don't like seeing my large self running around mowing the grass. I have come to terms with my size. I'm a big girl, and I'm a grandmother, a mom. My body has served me well. I brought 3 beautiful children into the world. I did nurse all 3 of my children. It is what it is. In any case, it was so hot on this day that I did get a little too much sun, and I did make myself kind of sick. And so yeah, there you go. But it's funny because the whole time I'm mowing this grass, I was thinking about what I wanted to do with the yard to make it better. And so if I look like I'm in deep contemplation, that's because that's what I'm thinking is, okay, what can I do with this? What can we do with that? How can we fix this? How can we fix that? And essentially that's what's going through my brain. Change the angle on this, probably should not have, because that is a hideous angle of me, but there you have it. This little patch here is so annoying. I probably should have used the weed eater thingy on it, but I'm really bad at it. I have gotten a smidge better, but I wouldn't say I'm fantastic. I'm definitely not going to be hired out to do anybody else's yards. And as you can see, it's so dusty. It's ridiculous. And all this lovely dirt that you see that I am blowing up everywhere, that ends up in my house. It's gross, but there you have it. So once I finish this up, I did try to get the lawnmower into the backyard. And clearly because the grass has gotten so tall in the backyard, this is where normally Roger would use the 0 turn, but we're having problems with the carburetor on that currently. And I just wanted to get the lawnmower into the backyard, so yeah. The struggle is real here. That's all I can say. I do end up mowing to get this gate cleared out enough for me to operate the gate, but in any case, once I'm done with this part of it, I actually take you on a quick tour of the front yard, and I'll kind of show you what my plans are, sort of, so you can kind of gauge the size of it. So like I said before, we're on 1.5 acres now, and this is probably more property than I've ever had in my adult life to have to deal with. And having a house of your own, you have to take care of it, and obviously we need to paint the house, and there's just so many different projects that need to be done. Unfortunately, finances are finite, and there's only so much that we can do, but mowing is something that I can do, and I don't mind mowing. So I didn't realize how fast this portion was, so I did slow it down a little bit, just so you can kind of see just how big the yard is, and of course the holes the dogs have dug that have to be filled in. All along the side here of the house, I would like to put some flowers, but the yard itself, as you can see, is actually quite large, and so I'm looking forward to being able to do something workable with this, getting some grass planted, the Japanese maple that Roger loves, that Myrtle keeps ripping branches off of. The pump house needs to be rebuilt. There's just so many things that we can do and that I want to do. It's just, honestly, resources are pretty much our biggest challenge right now. Is, everything takes money, so just do what we can and try to figure it out. So I figured I would close out this video with a look at the trees. It was super windy on this day, but the sky was beautiful, even though it was like 8,000 degrees outside. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope it inspires you that at any age you can do what you can. It's going to be a long process for us, and honestly, you can only do what you can do. So every day there's a little bit of progress, and that's all I can kind of hold on to at this point, is that at some point it will be done and everything will look the way that I want it to, and I'll get to decorate everything as cute as I want to. But until that happens, I'm just thrilled that we have a house, and I'm super grateful. It's a blessing to have a home, and it's even a blessing to have a giant yard to have to mow. And I mean, look at how beautiful that is. It's just, there's just something amazing about it. So, like I said, I hope you enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe, do all the fun things. And until next time, thank you guys so much for being here. Bye.